Okay, so this week we're going to be finally getting to the top half of the motor mounts on the Courier. I'm not going to move it so that way I have enough space in the garage to kind of work around here and see how far we get. I went ahead and had to scrap the old had to go ahead and scrap the other manifold that I tried to modify because got a new lower profile oil pan on there and it just wasn't going to work, so I'm going to custom make my own. So I figure since the mount's going to be in the vicinity and that's being custom made, then I can make that around the mount instead of trying to do vice versa. So that's why we're going to go ahead and get started on the top half here. The next step's the top half on the other side and transmission mount, and then the motor's in. We just got to get everything else to get the motor to function while it's in. So well, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we'll go ahead and get started with a template to match up with. I'm probably going to go with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or maybe 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not sure yet. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. Okay, so I got a little carried away and just kind of finished the top half of the other motor mount. So here it is. I started building off of, this was just basically a giant washer. You can kind of see it on this is my other motor mount. It's this big washer here in the middle. Just kind of started building off that. Because it was nice and thick, and then took a piece of cardboard to get a template for my bolt holes I was using, transferred it onto a piece of sheet metal, and then so those all bolt up there. Motor mount sits in there like so, super tight clearance, and the rubber grommet that is right here should sit like that, and then we'll take this piece and just like so. So really I just need to get the blast hole drilled all the way through the bottom, which I'm gonna do later once I have the other side finalized, and we should be all set. So when we get to this side, I'll go through and do a few more step-by-steps just to show the process a little better. This was more practice than anything, and just one more step to getting her back on the road. Alright, so I had to make some modification to the frame side of the engine mount bracket just to bring that base plate up maybe an inch or so, and get the big washer here to line up better with kind of the base of this piece of cardboard. But I got the beginning of the engine side of the motor mount started. This piece of cardboard is going to be my starting plate, and I plan on leaving the bottom edge long so I can just fold it out and have it meet with the big washer right there. So the next step is going to be take the cardboard off, transcribe it onto metal, and just see how far we get a little bend there on the bottom just to get it out of the way so we can get the plate up there and get it connected to the motor mount. And then from there we're going to run a couple of braces like we did on the other one, or maybe just a singular depending on how it works out, kind of like this piece of angle iron here. So we'll get it traced onto a piece of metal and take it from there. Okay, so got my bolt holes marked poorly, and kind of got this on here. I already got it traced on. You can kind of see this, just kind of scribed it in there, just with like a sharpened pry bar. To me it works better than like pencil or Sharpie, because the Sharpie lines are kind of fat and I end up like getting as far off as I can. So did this, left it long, and then have another mark here, so I'm just going to fold it out 90, and I'm going to make that more square before I actually fold it. Get over this little lip here and then out, and then I might have to go down. I'm not sure. I'll figure that out as I go. So I'm just going to cut this out. Once I get it cut out, I'll transcribe the bolt holes onto it and then drill those out, just slightly larger than the actual bolts that I'm going to be using, so it gives me a little bit of wiggle room so I don't have to be exactly perfect. Alright, so I got the basic shape done. You can see the original template I had, and then I put a 90-degree bend in it right down here. I had a little lump on the block I had to make clearance for. That's what this hole right here is for. You can see where I painted it in yellow. It was just a little bit proud, so I just made a little clearance for it. And then with this bolted on the block, I put the rubber engine mount under it with the washer, and then lined up some angle iron, tacked it in place on the truck, brought it out, finished it all up. And now we're just going to add some bracing, the one that's kind of like right here, and another one that's like right about here, and that should be it for the driver's side motor mount. Okay, finished up the driver's side motor mount, got my 2 extra braces put in there, got it all painted up, so you can see kind of how it sits in there. And then this rubber piece just sits on another plate below that washer, or actually probably above the washer, and it just sandwiches down, lets you have some vibration isolation, lets the engine move around a little bit. It's a tight squeeze. I have minimal clearance, but but that is what it is. So next time around we should be working on the transmission mount. Once I get that done, I'm gonna get the final center hole drilled on the plate down there on both of them. I might have to move it, forward, backward, side to side just a little bit while I'm doing the rear mount, or the transmission mount. So I want to get that done, and then we'll get these in, and then that sounds like the home stretch, but I still got to worry about like a radiator and a fan, and plumbing all the coolant, and the oil filter adapter, and it's going to be a long project, but we're getting there.